Hello and welcome to the Slyphor channel with another unexpected results, Dragons of Tarkir. We've got an Ataka booster this time, nice shiny orange, and we're going to get straight in and see what we get. Open the pack. Oh, and we start this pack similar to our first, was it our first one? Did we start our pack? Anyway, I've started a pack similar to this. It may well have been in my draft. But yeah, Sibsig Icebreakers for 2 and a black. It's a 2/3 zombie, and when it enters the battlefield, each player discards a card. This includes you, so it could be a downside, but if you've got land in hand, then it's not really a downside. It's a Silumgar card, so yeah, it's pretty good, not bad. We then have a Magmatic Chasm, 1 and a red, sorcery. Creatures without flying can't block this turn. So it's a way of getting through all your little chump creatures, all your little attackers, who would probably end up dying on attack. As long as they don't have big dragons, which could obviously still block, because they fly. But yeah, not bad. Not amazing, but not bad. Ooh, here we go. I believe this is our first rebound card for this set. And it's a good one. Center Soul, 1 and a white, instant. Target creature you control gains protection from the colour of your choice until end of turn. Rebound. So what Rebound does is, if you cast this spell from your hand, which you most likely will, you exile it as it resolves. So you play it, you give something protection, and then it goes into your exile pile. At the beginning of your next upkeep, you may cast this card from exile without paying its mana cost. So you get to cast it again for free your next turn. And then after it resolves this time, it goes back into your graveyard. So yeah, it's pretty good. Giving protection from a colour of your choice for 2 turns, basically, is really good. You can use it at instant speed, so you can also play it, like, you can play it in your turn, swing in, it then goes into the exile, and then you rebound it your next turn to swing in again, which is pretty good. Or you can use it in their turn and use it to protect it from them attacking. So use it as a combat trick to block one of their things and just not have your creature die, and then rebound it in your turn to swing back at them. So that's pretty good. It's a really good card, I like it. And it's Ojutai watermarked. We then have another Updraft Elemental, so we can, and another Ataka Beastbreaker, getting a lot of similar cards. Another Airy Bowmaster. We have a Tormenting Voice, which, although I don't think I've covered in this set in Dragons of Tarkir, I'm pretty sure I covered it in Khans of Tarkir, which it was also printed in. But it's got a nice different artwork. It now has Ugin tormented by Nicobolus instead of Sarkhan tormented by Nicobolus. Tormenting Voice is 1 and a red for a sorcery. As an additional cost to cast Tormenting Voice, you discard a card, and it lets you draw 2 cards. So you filter your hand slightly and you draw a card, which is always nice. We then have what I think is practically a completely useless card. Keeper of the Lens. They tried to make the lens from Khans better by making it a creature. I don't think it's worked at all. It's a 1-drop, 1/2. You may look at any face down cards, basically, because this allows you to look at face down cards that you don't control, and you can look at face down cards that you do control whenever you feel like it. So yeah, it's not very good. I was debating making a 5-colour morph commander, EDH, and I might run this in that, but other than that I don't see why anyone would run it. Possible sideboard tech if you find other people that are running lots of morphs, but there's very little. We then have a Reckless Imp, a Kolagan watermarked card, 2 and a black for a 2/2, flying, it can't block, and you can dash it for 1 and a black. It seems okay. Flying 2 damage for 2 seems okay. I don't think I'd ever play this for its actual cost, because you have it for a turn that you just can't use it. Unless you don't plan on using the 2 damage every turn for 2. Ancient Carp. Ancient Carp is not a good card, in my opinion. 4 and a blue for a 2/5. That's all it is. I don't particularly like it, but some people might. It's got some cool artwork. It's not bad. Draconic Roar as our first uncommon. It's 1 and a red instant. As an additional cost, you reveal a dragon from your hand. You may reveal a dragon from your hand. You don't have to. Draconic Roar deals 3 damage to target creature. If you revealed a dragon card, If you revealed a dragon card or controlled a dragon as you cast Draconic Roar deals 3 damage to that creature's controller. So for 2, this is pretty good. It's... oh god, what's the card? You deal 3 and then 3 to the target creature's controller. I can't remember what it is. But yeah, it's a pretty good card. We then have... a Graceblade Artisan. This is one of the cards that I was looking for. 2 and a blue, 2 and a white. For a 2/3 human monk. Graceblade Artisan just gets +2/+2 for each aura attached to it, which, while Theros is still in, is really good. When Theros goes out and Battle for Zendikar comes in, it might not be so good because there might not be as many auras. But I wanted it, personally, for my monk prowess. It's a monk constellation prowess EDH. And this is, like, possibly the perfect card for that. We then have our next uncommon of an Avens Sunstriker. These were really useful in the draft that I played. They're really good in Limited. I can imagine them being good in Standard. And they're warriors, so warrior tribal. For 1 white, you get a 1/1 bird warrior flying double strike, and it has Megamorph for 4 and a white with no effect. So they're pretty good. Ooh. Here is our rare Volcanic Vision. 5 red sorcery. Return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. Volcanic Vision deals damage equal to that card's converted mana cost to each creature your opponent controls. Exile Volcanic Visions. So this is really useful. I know you can't target Volcanic Visions with itself, but say you pull back a Fated Conflagration. That's 4 damage to everything. If you also pull back, and then you can reuse Fated Conflagration because it's back in your hand, and probably costs less than, well, does cost less than 5 red. Say you pulled back something from the more recent set, Sarkhan's Rage, which deals 5 damage to target opponent and 2 damage to you if you don't control a dragon. It's also a 5-drop, so Volcanic Visions deals 5 damage to everything. It's basically a board wipe. It's a pretty good red board wipe that pulls something back to your hand. I really like it. We then have a Plains and a Jin Monk flying 2/2 token. It's pretty good. Pick of the pack though, because I can't pick Volcanic Visions, so I would pick Center Soul. It's a good combat trick. It's a good way of getting through for a bit of damage by giving pro to your creature for 2 turns. Yeah, it's pretty good all round. It's a nice card, I like it. I hope you've enjoyed this pack, and I shall see you all next time. Goodbye.